Yeah. That's going to go in the blooper reel, I guess.
That's not a blooper. That's a legit thing right there.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
Hello, everyone. We are here with...
You don't know?
Well, maybe...
I thought we talked before we started. My name's Tim, and good to see you guys hanging out here.
Hello, Tim. Of course, everybody knows who you are. And today we're talking about thumbnails. So if you were to tell a story of how a thumbnail should be created, what elements should there be in a thumbnail?
A few things that need to really make a thumbnail highly enticing and clickable. One, it's best if it tells a story or teases a story where people are like, oh, what happens there? Like, it needs to create some sort of sense of intrigue or some question mark that the viewer feels like, I need to see what happens next.
Yep.
Or I need to know the solution to that. Or so like, too many people are just making thumbnails that just describe the video and using titles that are the same. But like, the thumbnail really needs to create that sense of intrigue, that question mark that people are like, I need to know what happens.
Yeah.
And click on that. So that's really important.
In terms of how complex or how simple a thumbnail should be, often when we're looking at thumbnails, we see that there's far too many objects in there or there's not enough objects. So is there sort of any general guidelines of how a thumbnail should fill the screen?
Oh man, there's like college degrees on graphic design and things. So the very basic thing though is that it has to be clear. So it's fair to how many things are in it. Like I think it depends on the video, but you can have a lot of things in a thumbnail and still design it to look beautiful, to communicate well, to communicate clear. So I don't think it's like how many things are in the image. It's more about like the space between images.
Yep.
And it's about like the proportions between elements. It's about even fonts and how like serifs versus sans serifs and how those used to complement each other. I'd highly recommend you guys, like, if you want people to click on your videos, graphic design is a necessary skill just as much as video editing is. Mm-hmm. Because no matter if you're the most amazing editor of all time, no one's going to click and watch your video if the thumbnail is lame. So you need, like, graphic design, that skill is very important. There's lots of books out there. There's one out there that I recommend by Robin Williams, not the actor, called The Non-Designer's Design Book, and it is very, very, very good on bringing very quickly new people who don't want to invest a ton of time, but just want to get up to speed on making titles and making thumbnails that are very clickable. That's the book I would recommend.
Text. Should you include a lot of text, no text? Should the text just repeat what's in the title?
I would say, one, test it. I mean, that's the cop-out answer, which no one likes. But two, I would also say, it's more of my personal thing that I've seen consistently is that when you're just repeating the title of the video as text in the thumbnail, that seems to be kind of pointless. Yeah. Unless you have like a really high mobile audience and it's mostly kids and you're getting a lot of, one of your primary traffic sources is like when a video ends, the videos that pop up, the suggested videos that, like, if that's what you're going after, then, you know, text on the thumbnail, like the title could make sense. But for the most part, it seems like keep text minimal, use the title for that if you have an audience that knows how to read, of course, and use text to complement the title, not just repeat it. And use it pretty sparingly, in my opinion. Like that should be a good visual billboard. If you're using text, then your visual is kind of it could be stronger for the pitch. Should you include yourself in the thumbnail? And if so, how should you present yourself in the thumbnail? If you have a personality channel, then like that's going to be part of your branding. Having your face on there, people will recognize it. But if you're not on video and it's like animation or it's like kids rhyming songs or something like that, then no, you don't need to put yourself on the thumbnail. It just needs to be consistent with the content that you're doing and the branding that you're trying to establish. And a question I always like to ask video creators who do include themselves in thumbnails, have you perfected, like, over the period of time, like different poses, like standing in front of a camera for an hours on end, sort of going... Actually, the way we do it is my video editor just looks for a still frame somewhere in the video and just takes that out, cuts me out, and uses that when she makes a thumbnail. Or occasionally, if I'm doing an interview like this, I'll be more likely to actually just pose and we'll just do a few, like we're holding something or just a few different ones like that. And just like at the end of the video, she'll take those still frames out. Yeah. So I don't put too much thought into it. Okay. Thank you very much, Tim. What are we doing? Okay.